fulfill his promise made towards the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. Remember, the federal government promised to assist the states when they were having issues with funding. At some points, they wanted to call it to postpone the National Sports Festival because of a lack of funds. But they were given commitments, and they were told that, okay, just go ahead. At the end of the day, we are going to see how we can assist. And really, they said they were going to assist. But right now, 6 weeks after the event, those states, they are calling on the federal government to please fulfill their promise, and they said they should stop treating Edo people like orphans. Well, that is coming from coming from Ebomena Musa, who is the chief press secretary to the Edo State Deputy Governor, Comrade Philip Shaibu, who was the chairman of the local organizing committee of the festival. And we'll also be looking at other issues on the show this morning. For the president of the Nigeria Olympic Committee, Engineer Abu Ahmed Gumel, congratulations to him because he has been re-elected as ANOCA treasurer. That is the Association of National Olympic Committees of Africa. It was at the General Assembly in Cairo yesterday. That was where it all happened. He has been re-elected. We say congratulations to the president of Nigeria Olympic Committee. And also tonight we'll be expecting the first of the two European finals, and that will be the Europa League final between Villarreal and Manchester United. Super Eagles winger Samuel Chukwueze is on the verge of Europa League glory, and he will be among those who have won it for Nigeria. If he is able to succeed tonight against Manchester United, then he will also be in the club of Nigerians that have won the Europa Cup, formerly UEFA Cup, because Kanwakwo, Taribo West, they all won it with Inter Milan, as well as Studio there, and so many others, including Mikel Obi. So let's see if Chukwueze, who made it to Gdansk in Poland after returning to training following that injury that he had in the semi-final against Arsenal, is fit, and he might be starting, or he might start from the bench. But if he gets to win, it will be in the history books. For Barcelona, Juventus, and Real Madrid, for the European Super League that they are part of, the governing body, they have opened proceedings against the three clubs over the Super League plan. And in basketball, I can tell you that Anthony Davis said he wanted to make a statement, and he did, as he scored 34 points as LA Lakers beat Phoenix Suns in the NBA playoffs. The score is now 1-1. Brooklyn Nets also won yesterday to take their series to 2-0. Once again, good morning and welcome to Sports Fiesta, and it is reaching live on 92.7 KBFM down here in Benin City. My name is Ewosa Aigbeka, you can call me the Sports Maestro. And let's begin from Edo State as we as regards the National Sports Festival. The Chief Press Secretary to the Edo State Deputy Governor, Ebomena Musa, has bemoaned the failure of the federal government to fulfill its financial pledge 6 weeks after the National Sports Festival ended. The federal government, they had pledged to assist Edo with finance for the hosting of the festival after the state complained of paucity of funds to stage the biennial event. The event, which was eventually held from April 2nd to 14th in Benin City after several postponements, was almost ended midway into the competition, with Edo State government saying it could no longer bear the financial strain. However, after consultations, the federal government pledged to release funds before Edo agreed to continue with the National Sports Festival. And Ebomena Musa was speaking to newsmen, and he said he decried the federal government's poor treatment of the state. Quoting him, "As a state, we have put it behind us and decided to move on. If it pleases the federal government and the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development to compensate us for the financial losses suffered during the sports festival, so be it." As according to Ebomena Musa, who was the project manager, media and communications for Edo 2020. He added that it is just unfortunate that they decided to treat us like orphans. I see an element of politics in all the games they have been playing with us as regards the release of this money. How long does it take for the federal government to release money to a state that has spent so much to bring Nigerians together under one roof? in the name of sports, unity and oneness. This is one thing the nation needed so dearly at this time in our history. If Edo State decided to host the nation, I think we deserve praises and compensation. How many states can do that at this hard time? Taking a look at the economy of the country. We are also appealing that Edo State government, they did well by ensuring that they continued with the festival. At some point, they wanted to end the festival midway, and people were saying if they had known, they would have not started all this. But initially, Edo State government was ready to do everything from the beginning to the end, but due to the several postponements, you know how it is. The things that you have paid for, the arrangements that you have made, and monies have been spent. How would you go back to these people and say, we don't need the money, we don't want it again, give us our money? It is not possible. Even the vendors, at some point, they wanted to stop supplying foods and drinks, but the deputy governor, who was also the LOC chairman, had to intervene, and they held a meeting and they discussed issues regarding how the festival will continue. But when the federal government was informed and they gave a commitment saying they are going to really assist, I thought by now the money would have been the accounts of the state government would have been credited by federal government following that promise. But 6 weeks after, still awaiting that. I think it's something that the federal government, they have to look at. And now the CPS to the Edo State Deputy Governor has decried the way that Edo State has been treated. Well, let's hope that now that he has spoken to newsmen about the delay in the compensation, I think the federal government would now see how they can speed things up. We hope in the next few weeks that we'll get a positive result, that money has been paid. All right, congratulations to the gold medalist who did very well during the National Sports Festival. She was pregnant when she came for the festival, but right now I can tell you that she has put to bed a bouncing baby girl. She came with Team Lagos and she won gold in Taekwondo Pumse. That was where she won gold, and her name is Aminat Idris, and she has given birth to a baby girl. So we'll say congratulations once again. The athlete and her husband, Nurullah Matepo, both confirmed the arrival of their baby. According to Nurullah Idris, Idris put to bed on May 21st at the Surulere General Hospital in Lagos. She turned poster girl of the festival last month after pictures and videos showing her competing with pregnancy and winning gold in the Taekwondo event went viral online. In a chat with reporters, she said, "Our baby has arrived and she's doing well. It is a thing of joy to finally have our baby. Both the mother and the baby are doing fine, according to the husband. There's no medical issue or complication, so it is something to be happy about." He added, eyebrows were raised when she competed at the sports festival with the pregnancy, but I would have been a selfish husband if I stopped her. When I knew she could do it at the 2018 festival, she won 2 silver medals and a bronze, so it is not new to her, and it wouldn't have made sense to stop her. A lot of people that raised eyebrows didn't know what the medical experts said about her condition. They didn't know the consultations we had before the Lagos State Sports Commission allowed her to compete. A lot of meetings were held to ensure she would be fine before she was allowed to go for the festival. For real, when I saw the news, I was like, wow, a pregnant woman competing in Taekwondo, and this is a physical sport. How would she cope? What about the attacks from the opponent and all that? Wouldn't that affect the baby and all that? But I'm happy that she has put to bed. And when the doctors say, okay, you are free to go, you are cleared to compete, I don't think there'll be any issue. Then you, as an athlete, you have the confidence to go out there and represent your state. She came with Team Lagos and she did well, won gold at in the Taekwondo Pumse event, and now she has put to bed. Wow, I can say that baby is a golden child. All right, still in Nigeria, before we go on our first break on the show this morning, former Enyimba striker Victor Ezeji he's not really happy at the moment. He has berated the management and players of the Aba side after their exit from the CAF Confederation Cup. Enyimba, remember, they were knocked out of the competition by Egyptian side Pyramids 5-2 on aggregate. The first leg ended 4-1 in Cairo, and the return leg at the Abatansi Stadium ended 1-1. So 5-2 on aggregate. Pyramids progress. For Enyimba, who are two-time African champions, they are now out of the tournament and they have to go back to the drawing board and see how they can replan for next season. Speaking with the Punch, Ezeji, who won the 2003 CAF Champions League with Enyimba, says some of the players had no business at the club. Enyimba have not been too convincing in the CAF Confederation Cup after they dropped from the CAF Champions League. Everything about the club, from the players to the management, is wrong, especially this season. Look at the way they play away from home. Their defense line is very poor, so why won't they concede goals like that, like they did against Pyramids? The club's management did not help matters because issues that they needed to look into, like logistics, transportation, and others, were left till the last minute. Pyramids flew from Egypt to Port Harcourt on Thursday for a game that will be played on Sunday. In the case of Enyimba, everything will be done in the last minute, and this is one of the major reasons that they were knocked out of the competition, because they did not plan very well. Well, I think I will have to agree with Ezeji, because for someone to be part of the team that won the CAF Champions League, then one would expect him to be really, really angry, you know, following the way they were knocked out of the second tier, not the CAF Champions League. They were dropped from there to CAF Confederation Cup, and we all thought, okay, let them go ahead to do this, to win this, and also let it be on record, because they've won the CAF Champions League on 2 occasions. Hey, they got to the quarterfinals, but when we expect them to get to the semi-finals, they were knocked out. Really, really disappointing one. Each time they go away to play, we are always having our hearts, you know, in our hands, you know, for them to do well and play very well. They have played poorly from home, but each time they come home, they try to get a win. But against Pyramids, hey, that team is loaded with stars, and they are bankrolled by billionaires. So they came here and they won. And there was something they did on their way to Aba, the Aba Port Harcourt Road. They did a video, and that video wasn't really, really pleasant. I think the federal government should also try to do something concerning our roads. The state of the roads were bad, and for an Egyptian club to do that, I think that's a mockery on the part of Nigeria. I know they want to do very well. They want to spend so much money to ensure that they rebrand football in the country, especially the Nigeria Professional Football League. But I think as much as they are trying to rebrand the league and ensure that they do some certain stuff to promote the league and make it a bigger one, they should also consider the state of the roads with which clubs will take to the stadiums and all that. So for me, having a beautiful stadium without having a beautiful road that leads to the stadium, I don't think it is really right. So I think the state government should do something. Just yesterday, Moni Michel Egbe, who is CEO of a construction company, you know, also spoke about the state of the roads. That for the club to do that, I think is a mockery on the part of Nigeria. So I think the federal government, they should wake up and see how they can fix Nigerian roads, because most of the roads are now death traps. Okay, before we continue with stories from Nigeria, because we'll be having the Nigeria Professional Football League. There will be some matches today, but before we talk about that, let's go on our first break on the show this morning, and when we return, we'll look at that of the Anoka Treasurer, the election of Ahmed Abu Gumel. Then also we'll talk about the Professional Football League matches before moving abroad. We'll be right back. Just stay tuned.
Yes, Nasco quality cornflakes are so full of nourishing goodness because they are whole-flaked cornflakes. Whole-flaked cornflakes are made by a natural flaking process that retains all the natural goodness of the whole corn for whole nutrition, whole taste, and whole crunchiness for the whole family. So next time you're eating cornflakes, make sure it's whole-flaked Nasco cornflakes. Nasco cornflakes, nourishing goodness anytime.
Do you know that following people without their consent is stalking and it's an offense? Don't be be an offender, we give our consent for you to follow us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at KUFM Nigeria, on Instagram at KUFM Nigeria, on Twitter at KUFM Nigeria. Check out the latest pictures and videos and catch breaking news, entertainment gist, trending issues and happenings on social media by following us at KUFM Nigeria across the various platforms. KUFM, turn on excitement.
I feel alive, so alive when I'm with my best friends, indulging my tea exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful tea exotic. And after a long day, I want to relax with the taste of my tea exotic.
Indulge and get lost in the deeply satisfying taste of the Chi Exotic range of delicious fruit blends.
Chi Exotic Nectar. I love the taste. Now available in can.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use Kung Fu?
No dear, na hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
The place and brighten, make everybody they wonder. Waiting because of the shine. Lush hair, long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Forgive and let it go. Together we can stand, come what may. And the future lies in us. Teach our children to teach their children what our fathers taught. To fear and love the Creator. Only then shall we succeed. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be.
All right, welcome back. And in case you just joining us, it's Sports Fiesta reaching you live on 92.7 KUFM in Benin City. My name is Egusa Weekend, the Sports Maestro. Before we went on the break, we told you what happened as far as the Edo State Sports Festival is concerned, as the state is still awaiting the funds from the federal government that made them not to end the festival midway. Remember, this federal government promised to assist the state government when they were having issues with funds because they were running out of funds, and they promised to assist them. But 6 weeks after, they have not done that, and the CPS to Edo State Deputy Governor Comrade Philip Shaibu, talking about Mr. Bomiana Musa, although he has been with us on this show on several occasions, he has come out to say that they are yet to get the alerts from the federal government. And also, we told you that the pregnant lady that came for the festival, Mrs. Aminat Idris, she has put to bed a bouncing baby girl. She was heavy when she came for the tournament, and many people raised eyebrows, including my humble self. But at the end of the day, when the doctors say you are okay and you are good to go, who am I to doubt the medical experts? So she has delivered a golden baby. For you to have a baby in your womb and also go ahead to, she went ahead to win the gold in the festival. So what do you call that baby? It's a golden child. So congrats once to them. And now it's time to talk about the election of Engineer Abu Ahmed Gumel. The president of Nigeria Olympic Committee, Engineer Abu Ahmed Gumel, has been re-elected as treasurer of Association of National Olympic Committees of Africa, ANOCA, at the General Assembly in Cairo, Egypt on Tuesday. Gumel, an ambassador of the International Olympic Committee, IOC, defeated his Togolese opponent, Deladem Akpaki, by 43 to 10 votes. Also, Algeria's Mustafa Beraf, president of ANOCA, was re-elected after defeating Mrs. Lydia Nsekera from Burundi, 38 to 15 votes, while the Secretary General Ahmed Hashim from Sudan retained his position, beating Senegalese Sedina Omar by 29 to 24 votes. The elected officers will serve Association of National Olympic Committees of Africa, ANOCA, for the next 4 years. Okay? That is how it's going to work out. We'll say congratulations once again. Now let's talk about Nigeria Professional Football League. We are going to be having matches today, and ahead of the game between Kano Pillars and Nasarawa United, Pillars player, they are really talking tough right now ahead of that game. It's not going to be an easy one, but the captain, Rabiu Ali and Chris Madaki, they said they will approach their match day 23 tie against Nasarawa United on Wednesday, which is today, like a cup final. The same Mesugida, they are joint table toppers with Aqua United on 41 points after 22 matches. Pillars were ahead by 1-1 by Katsina United in their last game, but against the visitors at the Kano Pillars Stadium, they are hopeful of claiming all 3 points. Quoting Ali right now, he said, "We are ready to play them like it's a final because they are also a very strong side. It's not easy to be within top 4 positions of the league, and Nasarawa is 4th. So you can see that they have the quality too. But we are determined to crack them because we want to remain at the summit of the league for the remainder of the season." And for Madaki, who also echoed the stance of Rabiu, he said, "It will be a tough game because every 3 points counts for us. We are determined to ensure that we qualify for the CAF Champions League next season." Okay, let's watch out and see how Kano Pillars are going to approach that game, because they said they are going to approach it like a final. All right, looking at the matches to expect today, Adamawa United will take on Katsina United. Kano Pillars, like I told you, will welcome their neighbors Nasarawa United. Then Atland will be at home to Plateau United. Wiki Tourist versus Eyimba International. Well, all attention will now be focused on the Nigeria Professional Football League for the People's Elephants now that they have crashed out of the continent. So let's see how they are going to respond to their exit when they travel to Bauchi to take on Wiki Tourist. Okay, elsewhere, Kwara United will be at home to Rivers United. Dakada FC will take on SC Fayumba. Sunshine Stars versus MFM FC. Warri Wolves at the Warri Township Stadium will take on Lobby Stars. Then Abia Warriors will take on Aqua United. That match is slated for tomorrow. Abia Warriors will take on Aqua United, while Rangers International will face Jigawa Golden Stars. Okay, looking at the table at the moment, Aqua United, they are top with 41 points from 22 matches. The Kano Pillars are also on 41 points from the same number of games, but they've got an inferior goal difference to Aqua United. Aqua United are third with 39 points from 21 matches. Nasarawa United, they occupy first spot with 39 games from 22 matches. For Rivers United, they are fifth with 39 points from 22 matches, while Rangers International, the Flying Antelopes, occupy sixth spot with 34 points from 21 matches. We look at the bottom clubs and we see where they are. Okay, on 17th spot we have Warri Wolves. They are on 21 points from 22 matches. 18th we have Sunshine Stars, 20 points from 22 matches. SC Fayumba at 19th with 20 points from 22 games, while Adamawa United, the Whipping Boys, they are bottom with 13 points from 22 matches. Okay, that is how it is right now in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Okay, moving away from the Nigerian Professional Football League, let's move abroad and talk about the match to expect tonight. It is going to be a massive one between Villarreal and Manchester United. The Yellow Submarines, they've not won this tournament before. They are looking forward to their first trophy, and they are hoping that the man that knows how to win Europa League titles will be able to deliver it for them tonight in the person of Unai Emery. Remember, he did it with Sevilla 2014, 2015, 2016. He won the Europa League back-to-back. So he's hoping to do that with Villarreal. Though last time out, he got to the final with Arsenal, but the Gunners were gunned down by the Blues in that final. So I haven't left them to join the Yellow Submarines. He is hoping to also make history with them and he's hoping to make history and also become the first manager to win 4 Europa League titles. Would that be possible today? That is what we are going to be looking at. And also for Super Eagles flying winger Samuel Chukwueze, he could become the 6th Nigerian to win the UEFA Europa League if Villarreal emerge champions in the final competition, final of the competition against Manchester United today. The Yellow Submarines, they face the English Giants at the Stadium Miejski in Gdansk, Poland, to decide the winners of the 2021 season. For the manager, Unai Emery, he would be glad to have the 22-year-old returning to training ahead of the final showpiece after he was initially declared doubtful following the muscle injury that he picked up in the second leg of their semi-final clash against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium last month. The Nigerian international has made a quick recovery and was part of the team that traveled to Poland for the all-important game as the Spanish club seek their first major European trophy. It remains to be seen if he gets to start, but is definitely going to play a part as Villarreal target an upset against their more illustrious opponents. They beat Arsenal 2-1 on aggregate to reach the final, while United hammered Roma 8-5 after both legs. Okay, for Samuel Chukwueze, well, he hopes to join the league of Nigerian players that have won the tournament. Nwankwo Kanu and Taribo West, they are the first 2 Nigerians to win the competition. They won it with Inter Milan, who defeated Lazio in 1998 when the competition was then known as the UEFA Cup. Then also, Chidi Odia won it with CSKA Moscow in 2005 before Mikel Obi and Victor Moses both won it with Chelsea in 2013. Okay, that was when they won that title. But for the 2 clubs playing tonight, they will want to get the better of one another, having met on 4 occasions, with all ending in goalless draws. Is that not surprising to you guys that Villarreal and Manchester United, they've met on 4 occasions and all the matches have ended in goalless draws? So who is going to be the first to win against each other today? Will it be Villarreal or will it be Manchester United? But the Red Devils, when you look at the European competition, they've got, a big pedigree. They are a big side. They've won the Champions League on 3 occasions. They've won the Europa League. They won it in 2017 with Jose Mourinho in charge of the team. So they are a strong side, stronger side than Villarreal. Villarreal, they have not won the trophy. So let's see if Man United will add to their European collections tonight, or if Villarreal, the Yellow Submarines, will be able to win their very first title. Okay, still talking about the Europa League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says a Manchester United win over Villarreal in the Europa League final tonight could be a stepping stone for a big future. For the manager who was known as Babyface Assassin during his playing days with Manchester United, a Champions League winner with United as a player, and has yet to win a trophy since taking charge of the club in 2018-2019. So he came off the bench and he did wonderfully well in 1999 when he scored against the Bayern Munich as the Red Devils claimed a treble in the year 1999. But since he became the manager of Manchester United in 2018-2019, replacing Jose Mourinho. He hasn't won any title. So he will be looking forward to that tonight with his side. Though he has won just one title, that was the Norwegian Cup, while he was the manager of Moda. They won that Norwegian Cup. But since he joined Manchester United, he has not been able to win a trophy. And for United, they will be without Anthony Martial and Phil Jones because of knee injuries. And also, they will have a big decision to make over who starts in goal. David De Gea made some fine saves in the semi-final second leg against Roma, but Dean Henderson is also challenging for a starting place. But according to Solskjaer, it's always difficult to leave players out, but it's throughout the whole season. All right? And he added that this is the best club in the world, talking about United, and that's the pleasure and the pressure of Manchester United. That's something the players are ready for. They wouldn't have signed here if they weren't top players. These are big nights for us. It might be the stepping stone for a big future. This group of players, they have been working together for a year, and they have the next step for them is to enjoy a game like this. I've seen something growing inside of the players. There are plans for 2,000 fans of each club to be present at the final. 30 minutes extra time will be played if the scores are level after 90 minutes. The final will be decided by a penalty shootout if the scores are still level after 120 minutes. Okay, that is what we've got for you, and we hope that this match tonight will be something that will really sparkle from the blast of the whistle. And if you must know, the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson will be in Poland, although he traveled with them already. So he hopes that his presence will motivate the players to go ahead and do great stuff. Remember, he did very well with Manchester United, and he won so many trophies with them, including that treble, the Champions League that he won in 1999. I was watching that game, and it looks as if Bayern were going to run away with that title until the 9 minutes when Teddy Sheringham got the equalizer and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the winning goal. In fact, the Camp Nou, the stadium was electrified, to see how the fans of Manchester United react following that 2 quick fire goals in the 9 minutes. And you need to see how Sami Osekufo of Ghana was weeping like a baby. He was weeping profusely because he thought that, they were going to run away with it. That is why in football, it is not over until it is over, right? And there is something you have to know about tonight's game, and it's just 22 years after United won that treble, in 1999. That UEFA Champions League final match was played on the 26th of May, which is 22 years today. So, are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? I don't know. It could be that something could happen tonight. When you look at the date, 22 years after, a player that won the Champions League with United is now the manager and is on the verge of winning his first trophy with the club in the Europa League. Well, let's see how that will pan out, if that will come to pass. And also, the date is also significant for the club because Sir Matt Busby, regarded as the founding father of Manchester United, was born on the 26th of May, 1909. All right. Okay, let's go on and see how that will pan out tonight. It's going to be at 8 p.m. at Gdansk in Poland. So all eyes are on that game. Then 3 days later, we'll be looking forward to the big one, the Manchester City-Chelsea final in the UEFA Champions League. First, let's see what happens tonight. Okay, moving on to the UEFA Super League issues that is still on ground. That has caused a whole lot of issues on ground. Widespread condemnation followed immediately. They made the announcement of the European Super League. But right now, the UEFA, the European Football Governing Body, UEFA, they have opened disciplinary proceedings against Barcelona, Juventus, and Real Madrid over their involvement in the proposed European Super League. The clubs were part of the 12 founding members of the Breakaway League, which later collapsed. The other 9 clubs renounced their project, but Barcelona, Juventus, and Real Madrid have refused to do so. UEFA said proceedings have been opened against the 3 for a potential violation of UEFA's legal framework. In a statement released on Tuesday, UEFA said following an investigation conducted by UEFA ethics and disciplinary inspectors in connection with the so-called Super League project, disciplinary proceedings have been opened against the 3 clubs for a potential violation of UEFA's legal framework. Further information will be made available in due course. The other 9 clubs involved are Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Atletico Madrid have been punished by European football's governing body for their participation. They have agreed to make a combined 15 million euros, which is 13.4 million pounds goodwill contribution to benefit children's and grassroots football across Europe. They will also have 5% of UEFA competition revenues withheld for one season starting in 2023-2024, and this money will be redistributed, including in the UK. Each has also committed to UEFA and its competitions, with the clubs facing fines of 100 million euros, which is 86.9 million pounds apiece if they seek to join an unauthorized competition in the future. They will be fined half that if they breach any other terms of the declaration. Real Madrid president Florentino Perez, who was appointed as chairman of the ESL, recently said that the 12 clubs that agreed to join the project have binding contracts and cannot leave. This is where the battle line is drawn. Honestly, I think UEFA, they've got the upper hand because they are the governing body, and now that 9 out of 12 clubs have renounced and they've withdrawn, you have 3 clubs remaining. Well, let's see how the 3 clubs remaining and the chairman of the so-called European Super League, talking about Florentino Perez, how he is going to ensure that they get a victory, over UEFA when they go to the courts. Come on, you cannot fight a governing body, honestly, because right now the framework has been breached. So I think it will be better for them to just go out there and also ensure that they resolve the whole issues with the governing body and pull out of the so-called Super League. Okay, for those who are waiting to enjoy the UEFA Champions League right there in Portugal, I can tell you right now that 16,500 spectators are to attend that final in Portugal on Saturday. That is what UEFA is saying. UEFA, they've announced on Tuesday with the opening of ticket sales. So ticket sales are on right now, and if you want to go to Porto, you can get your ticket and go on to watch the match, because Portugal is on the green list of UEFA, not like Istanbul, that was initially bid to host the final at Atatürk Stadium in Istanbul, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the new variant really causing a whole lot of troubles over there. They had to shift it to Portugal because it is allowed for fans to go, and when you return, you don't need to quarantine. So for me, I think this is the best decision. So for those going, 16,500 spectators are going to be allowed. That is 1/3 of the capacity of that stadium. So in order for you to have social distancing and also follow due protocols of the COVID-19. The figure permitted the Portuguese authorities is 1/3 of the capacity of Estádio do Grão, which took over hosting the final in mid-May after Istanbul was ruled out for COVID-19. UEFA, they had already allocated 6,000 tickets each to finalists, Chelsea and Manchester City. To this will be added the traditional invitations, as well as 1,700 tickets reserved for the general public, which will be sold on a first-come, first-served basis. Tickets costs range from 70 euros to 600 euros against a range of 40 to 130 euros for Wednesday's Europa League final in Gdansk between Manchester United and Villarreal. So for those watching tonight's game, they are going to pay 40 to 130 euros. But for those watching that are going to watch the Champions League, they are going to pay 70 euros to 600 euros. Okay, because of the pandemic, spectators will require proof of a negative COVID-19 test to enter the stadium. fans coming from abroad will have to comply with border entry restrictions and requirements that will be in force. Okay. For Portugal, the country is on the British government green list. Neither the players nor UK-based supporters will have to quarantine on their return home. All right, sir. All right, that is what we've got for you as far as the UEFA Champions League final is concerned. Now let's move over to France and talk about a manager who did well at the end of the French Ligue 1 season. He won the French Ligue 1 title with Lille, but days after that, he has stepped down as the head coach, just 2 days after they won the French league title. Talking about Christopher Gauthier. The 54-year-old helped Lille secure their first league title in a decade on Sunday, finishing 1 point ahead of Paris Saint-Germain. He had been expected to leave after new owners took control of the club halfway through the season. Oh, no wonder. But if it were to be some owners, they would have kept the winning manager to see how he can help them do very well in Champions League as well as retaining the title. Quoting the manager right now, he said, "I simply have the deep belief that my time is up here," he told L'Equipe. He said he was moving on to avoid falling into a routine. Lille later said they accepted his decision, and the announcement came after they took part in an open-top bus parade in the center of the city to celebrate the title win with fans on Tuesday. Gauthier took over the club in December 2017 following Marcelo Bielsa's time at the club with the side in serious relegation danger. After keeping them up, he then took lead to second and fourth place finishes over the next 2 seasons before they won the first title in 10 years and the fourth overall. Gauthier has been linked with the managerial jobs at Nice and Lyon. Okay, that is what we have for you. And for Napoli, well, they sacked Gennaro Gattuso, but right now he has been appointed as the manager of Fiorentina. Just a few days after his sacking, now he is the head coach of another club. That is one thing about coaching. The job is hiring and firing. All right, let's quickly look at the gossip session before we go and check the NBA playoffs. Then we look at the text messages and see how many we can take on the show this morning. All right, the transfer gossip session. Tottenham and Everton, they are keen on signing Crystal Palace Ivory Coast forward Wilfred Zaha, who is 28, for £40 million. Paris Saint-Germain manager Mauricio Pochettino is seriously considering a return to former club Tottenham Hotspur. However, Spurs are in talks with Belgium head coach and former Everton and Wigan manager Roberto Martinez, who is 47, as the search for Jose Mourinho's successor progresses. Inter Milan manager Antonio Conte led the club to this season's Serie A title, but the ex-Chelsea boss is to leave the club within the next 48 hours. Wow, what's happening? Managers are winning titles and they are leaving the clubs. Well, let's see if Inter have new owners. Okay, for Wolverhampton Wanderers, they are prepared to sell Portugal midfielder Ruben Neves for £35 million to fund a rebuild for whoever takes over following Nuno Espirito Santos' departure. Wolves will not be forced into selling 24-year-old Neves, who has been at the club since 2017, but will listen to offers should it allow them to rebuild their squad. Brazilian playmaker Felipe Coutinho, 28, will be among 10 players to be transfer listed by Spanish giants Barcelona this summer. And for Barca and Manchester City, they are among the clubs interested in Atalanta's German midfielder Robin Gosens, who is 26 years of age. Arsenal and Aston Villa will go head-to-head to sign Norwich City's 24-year-old Argentine midfielder Emiliano Buendia. Arsenal's Brazil forward Willian, who is age 22, is keen on the return to Chelsea less than 12 months after ending a 7-year spell at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea could be willing to sell 20-year-old English midfielder Callum Hudson-Odoi, with Borussia Dortmund a potential destination. Dortmund may also consider Leeds United's Brazilian forward Rafinha, who is age 24. For West Ham United, they are interested in Spartak Moscow and the Czech Republic midfielder Alex Kra, who is age 23. Villarreal Spanish defender Pau Torres, who is 24 years of age, has refused to discuss speculation linking him with a move to Manchester United this summer before Wednesday's Europa League final against the Premier League club. United have agreed to sign Aston Villa's English goalkeeper Tom Heaton, who is 35, on a free transfer next month. Liverpool and England under-21 defender Rice Williams, who is 20 years of age, is likely to be loaned out next season despite breaking into the first team in 2020-2021. Arsenal's Uruguay midfielder Lucas Torreira will decide his future after next month's World Cup qualifiers. The 25-year-old spent the 2020-2021 season on loan at Atletico Madrid. The Gunners could reignite their interest in Lyon's French midfielder Oussem Aouar, who is age 22. Roma are interested in signing 24-year-old English winger Demarai Gray, who joined Bayer Leverkusen in January and has a buyout clause of €2 million, which is £1.73 million. France midfielder Eduardo Camavinga wants to join Paris Saint-Germain, and Rennes wants €100 million for the 18-year-old whose contract with them runs out next summer. Wow, €100 million for 18-year-old Camavinga. Come on, that is a real talent. All right, let's go on to look at the basketball results going on right now in the United States. The NBA playoffs is on, and for LA Lakers, well, they were beaten in the first game. They lost to Phoenix Suns, but Phoenix Suns also hosted the second game yesterday, the game 2. But hey, this time the Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they said, "Oh, this time we are not going to let them go. We have to, to dig deep and get a win." And that was what they did. They dug deep and they got a win over the Phoenix Suns as they won that game 109 to 102 points. Anthony Davis scored 34 points in that game, and they won to level their NBA Western Conference first-round playoff series. Davis, who is 28, also served up 10 rebounds, while LeBron James added 23 points for the Lakers to level the series at 1-1. Okay? The Lakers will now switch to their home court at the Staples Center for Game 3 of the best-of-7 series on Friday. Remember, the Staples Center is the same court that the LA Clippers uses. So the both teams that are based in Los Angeles, they are both using the Staples Center. So whenever you have LA Lakers traveling abroad, then you have the Clippers playing at home. If the Clippers are traveling abroad, then you have the Lakers playing at home. So they will switch to their home court for Game 3 of the best-of-7 series on Friday. Okay, elsewhere, on Tuesday, the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic, scored 39 points against the Los Angeles Clippers, adding 7 assists and 7 rebounds in a 127 to 121 win. Doncic's second straight 30-plus point game leaves the Mavericks 2-0 up in their Western Conference series, which now heads back to Dallas for their Game 3 on Friday and Game 4 on Sunday. Imagine LA Clippers losing two matches at home, and if they go away to Dallas and the Mavericks are able to win their 2 games at home, then they are out of the NBA playoffs. Talking about the Clippers, how would you play 2 games at home and you are not able to get a win in one of the 2 games? And yesterday, at halftime, it was 73 to 71 points in favor of Clippers. So I thought, okay, they could go on to finish the game as winners. But hey, the Mavericks came back strong in the second half, and they went on to do great stuff, and they just defeated LA Clippers 127 to 121. Okay, for Brooklyn Nets, they won their game and they've taken that to 2-0 in the Eastern Conference series. Kevin Durant scored 26 points and Joe Harris added 25 as the Brooklyn Nets eased to a 130 to 108 win over the Boston Celtics. Okay, matches to look out for. Tomorrow morning, Washington Wizards will travel down to Philadelphia 76ers, and the Philadelphia 76ers leads the series 1-0. Then Atlanta Hawks will take on New York Knicks, and Atlanta leads the series 1-0. Then we have Memphis Grizzlies who will take on Utah Jazz, and the Memphis won the first game. So Utah Jazz will have to fight back and get a win to level the series. All right, that is the much we can take on the show this morning. Quickly, let's look at the SMS before calling it a wrap on the program. Quickly, let's see how many we can take this morning as far as SMS is concerned. Please just, okay. Okay, let's start from here. This one reads, disarray of the generals. Oh, this is not for us. Please stop sending us messages that you are supposed to send to Orlando and Charles. Please send sports messages only. This one reads, will Chukwueze be fit for today's match? If Man United win, can Arsenal still make the Europa? Good job, Mr. Ewusa. I'm Godwin Agboka. No, Arsenal cannot make the Europa, even if Manchester United loses. Okay? Or rather, if Manchester United wins. Good morning, sir. Our problem now the organizer of MPFA. Just imagine Simba SC they signed $2 billion sponsorship deal. They are